Aren't all religions the same is a popular belief, but it's not based on fact. If you just look at Christianity and Islam, for example, I meet regularly with the local imam, and we're both agreed that actually the very heart of what we believe is mutually exclusive. For example, in Romans chapter 10, verse 9 in the Bible, it says, if you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. So salvation, according to the Bible, comes through believing Jesus is Lord and that God raised him from the dead. And that's the irreducible minimum of what it means to be a Christian. And all of those three elements will condemn you to hell in Islam. So believing that Jesus is the divine Lord that we all need to follow will condemn you to hell in Islam. Believing that he died on the cross will condemn you to hell in Islam. And believing that God raised him from the dead will condemn you to hell in Islam. And so, no, all religions cannot possibly be the same. Certainly not Christianity and Islam. But actually, then that question of what is salvation? In most religions, the idea of salvation is not what will bring us into relationship with God, but what will bring us a sense of inner peace. Relationship with God is not something emphasized in Islam, for example. The idea of heaven in Islam is a place of paradise, but there's no real talk of relationship with God. There's much more talk about the fulfillment of our senses. In Hinduism or in Buddhism, it's much more a sense of obtaining inner peace rather than a deep relationship with the God that we were made to know. Whereas Christianity talks about how human beings were made for a deep relationship with God, and that through our own decision to set ourselves up as independent from God, we have broken that relationship. And that has led to all the mess that is in the world. And the way that that relationship with God is restored is by God himself taking humanity to himself and coming into our world to live the perfect human life and to die for us, to bring us back into relationship with God as our Father. And that father-child relationship with God is pretty much unique to Christianity, to a trust in Jesus. Knowing Jesus as our Lord and our God is the most important thing and the most fulfilling thing and is a satisfying relationship that we were made for. And I would say that is unique to Christianity. And so, no, all religions are not the same. Look into it, dialogue with those of other religions. That's a hugely helpful thing to do. Examine the evidence for yourself. But actually the statement, all religions are the same, is actually a very arrogant statement. It's saying, I've got the truth, and if only all those people out there knew, then they would be as clever as me. And I think we need to humble ourselves in the West from that kind of statement and stop saying that and listen to people who we disagree with.